With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
It's a beautiful night for soccer here at Rockhill Elementary as the Alliance Aviators look for their first win of the season. It's the Aviators and the Cardinals up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove. Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Smacked into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back Jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. He's the point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
Once again, good evening from Rockhill Elementary, a.k.a. the Rockhill Soccer Complex. It is a beautiful night for some OHSAA girls soccer as the Alliance Aviators, looking for their first win of the year, welcome in the Canfield Cardinals. Hello, everybody. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you. Cooper Fontaine alongside me, a sophomore at Alliance High School, and as well a potential rising star in the video production program as right now your ETA is next fall. Glad to have you with us as this is your debut with SmeeSports.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's pretty great opportunity here.
And Cooper, I know you said that your dad is now the principal of Alliance High School, so I'm sure this gives you a deeper passion and love for the school.
Absolutely. I mean, Alliance is a great school district, all great sports, doing great things at Alliance, and it just makes me happy to be here.
And looking at this matchup tonight, Alliance, a very bruised squad. I believe they listed not reserves during the introductions, but the injured players. They called it the injured players for a reason. I believe 5 players are out tonight, 4 of which are lost for the season.
It's tragic. I mean, you look at some of these people, a lot of young talent, a lot of seniors as well, just, getting taken out, and it's definitely not helping the Aviator squad here.
And one of the big losses was Stella Jackson, the sophomore goalkeeper. Looking at the notes given to me by Coach Horning before the game, he told me Bailey Young is a high-impact player for the team, and that impact is moving in between the sticks tonight. We expected somebody else in between the posts, but instead it is Bailey Young getting the start tonight, and there's a lot of pressure on her. She was at Alliance for a long time, but for high school went over to Marlington, began her career there. 2 years gone by, she now comes back home to Alliance, and not only in soccer, but as well in basketball, she looks to be a high-impact player, and once we get to basketball season, she could easily be the star of the team.
Yeah, certainly. I know soccer, that sounds like a very adverse journey coming from that rivalry school, Marlington, across town. But basketball, she'll definitely be able to make a difference.
And then you look at these Canfield Cardinals so far in the year 1-1. A lot of low-scoring games, 1-0 against West Branch. That was a loss. Their last game, though, it was a great win, 2-0 over the Leopards of Louisville. 2 goals this season, both of them by Loriana Janone, the senior. She could be a key player tonight. But I think the biggest goal for the Cardinals in this game is simple. If you win, get so many players involved in the offense. And the key with that, get a lot of different goal scorers. You cannot rely on one single player to bring all of your goals in one season.
Yeah, definitely. They're at an advantage here, especially with their numbers going against a absolutely battered Alliance Aviator squad. It's kind of unfortunate to see the Aviators put in this situation, but it's definitely an advantage for the Canfield Cardinals.
Alliance will kick off, and we are underway at Rockhill Elementary. Alliance in their home powder blue jerseys, Canfield in their road whites. And the first play going out of bounds will result in an Alliance throw. And we'll see how the Aviators roll on the offensive end of things. Not too many goals so far this year, but this could be a good game to get them back into the goal column. Only one last time out against Uniontown Lake, but that was an 8-0 defeat. Before that, 6-0 against CVCA, and then their opening game. Their best result of the year, their only point, a 2-2 draw against the Talmadge Blue Devils. And that Talmadge squad, a lot of talent there, very impressive. But at that point, you had a lot of your star players still healthy. Now they're gone.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for the Aviators. They're going to definitely rely on a lot of their senior talent. Royal Hawkins will definitely be a huge factor here. She had 12 goals last year, and she's a real force on the soccer field.
And there she was right there trying to trap the ball. Lost it for a second, and the Aviators will take it back. Zelly Barnes plays it up the far wing, and it is too rich, and it'll roll out for a Canfield throw. Zelly Barnes, as you mentioned, one of the senior leaders. She is the first Division I commit in program history for these Alliance Aviators. So there is a lot riding on this senior year for her as she is heading on off to Northern Kentucky when the year is done. And Northern Kentucky has somebody that I knew back in high school, Avery Mueller, the former Holy Name Green Wave goal scorer. First ball going into the box today, an easy scoop up for the Cardinals. And it is Klimas, the freshman, in between the posts. 18 saves so far this year across a total of 2 games, so 9 on average. Hawkins taking it up the center for the Aviators. A good attack brewing for Alliance, but a quick poke ends it. Nicely done by Marino, the senior, playing it forward, and the Cardinals are on the counterattack. Awkward ricochet up the middle, good block in the center by Janone, but not enough to drill it into the final third. The ball will be loose in the midfield, and the Cardinals will try to get it, but a heavy tackle by the Aviators gives them possession, and they will work from the back. But once again, not a long possession. We've seen that a lot so far, albeit in a small sample size. Maybe a couple of touches, then a long pass, nobody home to receive.
Yeah, it looks like the Aviators are really just trying to get some momentum going downfield here. They've got a lot of young players playing. You see Adios wearing number 3 on the far side of your field. Got a little touch in there on that last possession.
And for the freshmen, this is a big opportunity for them. Not too many sports rely on their freshmen so early on in their career, but Alliance, based on necessity, has promoted a ton of them ahead of this game. Another good opportunity for the Canfield Cardinals. A heavy challenge, not enough to get possession back, as that is Top Horser, one of the 2 captains. And to be more specific on top of that, that is Lexi opposed to Hallie, the other one. Both captains are Top Horsers. That is a very interesting thing to look at for Canfield. Not often that you see a set of siblings as captains. Hawkins up the near wing for the Aviators. Her pass too rich up the field. And Canfield will simply reset, going back to their goalkeeper. Awkward line drive up the pitch, but here comes Canfield. Heavy touch in the middle, not enough to win it back for Canfield. And there is an extra lunge.
Ashland Pennington goes down there looking for a penalty.
And it looked like the official was going to just simply say play on opposed to advantage. It was a after-the-fact fall. Not enough to get the decision. 36-19 on the clock in this first half. No real offensive threats quite yet. A couple of close calls nearing the attacking third. But outside of it, both sides have been kind of battling in the midfield. And as the whistle blows, we will have our first foul of the game. Canfield will have a set piece on the far side, just around midfield. But so far, Alliance doing a great job to hold the ball in the midfield. The longer they keep it away from their defensive third, the better shot they have to keep some kind of hold on this game. And that is a difficult thing when you don't have numbers on the bench. Canfield, they can pretty much make a whole rotation change. Alliance, they have a couple of bodies on the bench that they could bring in. Hawkins plays it forward, nobody home. Klimas once again will take it, this time using her feet, as she will play a sweeper keeper role and just simply clear it out of play for an Alliance throw. Interesting choice by the freshman to just simply clear her lines. Plenty of time there, just didn't have numbers around. Good tackle on the near side, and it will stay with the Aviators. That is Oriah Ritchie, the sophomore, winning it. Loose ball just outside the Aviators' final third. Pings back to the center and dished back. Alliance starting to look dangerous, but Canfield once again able to spin out of it, and here come the Cardinals. Almost a one-on-one opportunity. It is a great block by Atkins, and that is enough for Alliance to reset for the time being, as it will go out for a Cardinals throw. A heavy challenge, very risky from Atkins, as if that follow-through came with too much force, it's a clear and obvious goal-scoring opportunity that could have been an early red.
Yeah, and that's dangerous. You don't want the other team to get too far ahead here. And with the Alliance, like you mentioned, being very short on players, if the Cardinals can get an early lead, then I don't know how long these Aviators will be lasting later into the game.
And we go back to Monday night's game, and that was the Perry-Marlington game. Perry scored 4 goals in the opening 9 minutes. This game, a far cry from that onslaught early. The Panthers then struggled for the rest of the game to get goals, but tonight they have Lake, and we saw Lake on Monday put up 8. Here comes Canfield, the best chance of the game so far for either squad, but yet again Alliance showing some scrappiness, good defense, and they will simply clear it away. That was one of the things that Marlington was unable to do, just clearing their lines. Alliance does it early here. And don't get it twisted with the Aviators losing a lot of pieces. They are still a very talented squad. But when you start your year against Lake, CVCA, and Talmadge, there's only so much you can do there. The Aviators once again looking promising, but a good tackle near midfield helps out the Cardinals. And here comes Canfield again. Good header on forward, one man to beat, and here comes Canfield. Best chance of the game so far. It is Janone, and she is able to hit it in. 3rd goal of the season for Loriona Janone, and Canfield is on the board. An excellent strike, and just like that, the Cardinals, they get the spark they want, and they get it with 33:03 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, that was the senior, like you mentioned. That's her 3rd goal on the year, and she's really getting it done for these Cardinals. You know, you saw that pass get right through, and she just took it all the way to the goal.
So 1-0 Canfield early on. We talked about getting a diversified goal-scoring room, but Janone still carrying it by herself all 3 this year for Canfield. And Alliance, now they look for an answer, but Canfield once again stepping up. First real shot of the game, and it is going to go wide to the far left. Goalkeeper's right, and it'll be a simple goal kick for the Cardinals. But I'm very impressed with Canfield so far. Their defense, a high IQ for the game, stepping off of their defensive line often. They just need to keep it up and play a full 80 minutes. That is the tough thing about soccer. It's not like football where you get a big lead early on and you can take your foot off the gas. In soccer, it's quite simple. You have to play a complete however many minutes. Hawkins misses wide. But Alliance still giving a lot of good pressure. But the question is, are they going to try and bring it a little bit closer, maybe inside that 18-yard box? All of their good chances so far coming from well outside of it. And that is going to be a key thing to look at. The closer you get, obviously, the better your chances are. But the long shots, that's not necessarily what you want to attack with this early. And something to know, the clock will continue to run during this slight stoppage, as it looked like we had an extra ball in. Good play up the far wing. Alliance, a heavy touch, and that one will roll out of play and almost into a neighboring goal. The touch came from Natalie Austin, the junior. But right now, the big thing for Alliance, they have to win this possession battle, and they get it there for a moment. They've been so close to really controlling the middle of the field tonight. But that one play that got away from them, that one incisive pass forward, that's the difference right now. Good ball up the pitch, but another deflection backwards. Hawkins intercepts, and here comes Alliance. Good ball forward. She's tripped up from behind, and it is simply a great challenge by the Cardinals. And here they come up the pitch. Another great opportunity. McCormick plays Janone on. It is a foot race to get the ball, but it is simply played back to Young, and she will clear her lines. Hawkins gets tied up with a Cardinal. Whistle blows, and I believe they're going to give possession to Alliance. It'll be a free kick.
I believe that was Kyliana Brown, actually.
We saw that there, just kind of a tie-up. We expected to see something called. But I will say, on the defensive end, once again, that was Adkins who went all the way back. She was the only defender left. Without her, that was, I would say, a pretty clear goal-scoring opportunity. But in the end, Canfield will have to wait for their brace. But maybe not for long. Janone played forward. Not enough space. Hawkins takes it back in the midfield. But once again, Canfield, a great challenge. And Alliance, upon winning it back for a moment, will simply clear it away. And it'll be a throw in directly at midfield. 10 minutes in so far. Cooper, your thoughts? Canfield, they do have the goal. But otherwise, we've seen a lot of great balanced soccer by both sides.
Yeah, definitely. It's looking very gritty. Definitely a good performance right now from Alliance. Definitely not what you expected with so many players out for them. But it's definitely promising. You know, we're not that far into the game. They have a lot of game left to play, and I believe that this, right now, it's not too far gone.
And the key thing is keeping Canfield off the board, and they need to get on the board themselves. The Cardinals, a lot of good passes so far as well tonight. But 29-18 left to go in the first half. Canfield still up 1-0 courtesy of Janone. And once again, all 3 goals this year from Canfield coming from the senior. And it is another ball forward to Janone. Simply touched forward for her. And Young will keep it in, and she will have to play outside her box. And I think that's the right decision there. Janone still in the vicinity, as she will simply eat it and hit it out for a Canfield throw.
Yeah, smart play by Young there. I know she's new into the goalie position, new from Marlington this year, but that was definitely the right play to make. Smart play.
Threatening attack at the edge of the 18-yard box for the Cardinals. But Alliance able to get it out, at least for the time being. Good pass forward, intercepted once again by Canfield. Top Oyster, edge of the box, gets taken down. Possession still with the Cardinals as they will play it on back. Marino forward, it will slip through, and Young will simply scoop it up. A lot of simple action tonight for both goalkeepers. And going back to the injury bug, you look at all the players out. Stella Jackson out indefinitely. Same with Gross, along with Dickey and Moten. You lose those key pieces. You have to replace those guys earlier than expected.
Yeah, that's why you have a lot of new players on the roster. Shaylee Todd being one of them for the Aviators, number 40. And it just becomes a bit of a bit troublesome to try to keep your roster updated or have enough players even to play or make substitutions. And that's definitely one of the big things that the Aviators are struggling with right now.
That clearance there coming from Gabby Heslop. I believe it was her older sister who was on the team last year who was a big standout in the defensive area.
Jenna Heslop, and that one just goes right over the goal.
Good idea on the cross, but just not enough to get it through. And I think in kind of a surprising move, we will see a substitution for the Aviators. I believe that is Olivia Bandy, the sophomore, coming on.
And we saw her warming up, taking some reps at goalie, but ultimately it ended up being Bailey who steps into the box for the Aviators.
And she could flip eventually if this game gets out of hand or if they think Bailey can do more for this team outside of being the goalkeeper. It depends on the scenario, as there are still 26 minutes left to go in this first half. And heading in, you look at the way this game was set up. Canfield favored heavily, but Alliance right now keeping the Cardinals at bay, at least to the best of their ability.
Yeah, they're definitely playing some gritty soccer right now. You're seeing a lot of people getting tied up in the middle of the field, seeing maybe some calls that people were expecting to be called, but ultimately weren't.
Good ball up the wing, intended for Brown, just couldn't catch up. One of the best passes forward tonight by the Aviators. Good tackle. Second chance from Hawkins, not enough, but it will slip into the defensive area. And Hawkins will take it. Good cut to the right. Alliance trying to gain some momentum. And this is a big tackle going forward. The Aviators keep possession. And here is a great chance for Alliance. Good cross, whip to the far side, chested forward, and it is a tremendous save on the far side.
Yeah, that was a great save there. She saw the cross and just read it and made the play.
We talked about it last time with Marlington. So many runs just falling on deaf ears, but that was a perfect backdoor run. Exactly what Alliance wanted. This team looking dangerous. They just need to find that lucky touch, and they almost got it, but Klimas, right place, right time, hugged the post and played it perfectly. 25-30 remaining in the first half. Still that one goal giving Canfield their lead. The Cardinals coming in from 35 minutes away, so not too far of a drive, as a lot of their fans have traveled with them tonight.
Yeah, the Cardinals definitely have a strong fan base coming out here to support them. And like you mentioned, it's not that far of a drive, but it's definitely a lot of fans for an away game.
And on a weeknight as well. Whistle will blow, and we will see what the officials decide to do. Looks like something was on the pitch that shouldn't have been, or something came off. I'm going to guess that something came off of somebody. And whatever it was has been cleared away, and we are back to the action. Heavy clearance by the Aviators that almost turns into a good long ball. Canfield has to be careful, not much time to work with. Klimas going to play out from her own goal. Loose ball. Here come the Aviators. Heavy touch forward, and that will give Canfield a throw-in. But once again, Alliance starting to force some Canfield mistakes, and they're starting to really put the pressure on them.
Yeah, and when you can apply pressure like that, you can get openings. I mean, just like this one. Got our Alliance players down here. Royal Hawkins, she's one of the best players on this team, and she can make things happen for them.
And I was just going to say, we talk about her speed a lot, but the physicality there, great as well. But here comes Canfield. Janone played to her right, but just too rich. But Canfield gets it back on a simple clearance. Good ball forward, lightly tipped. And that light tip, initially a good challenge, almost gave Canfield a chance to take it back.
Yeah, and that's, again, if not for Atkins back there, who, like you said, has been the last line of defense, and she's been there to make a lot of great defensive plays here for the Aviators.
Heavy ricochet, almost going right back to Canfield again. Atkins putting in a heavy shift at defense. She'll play it forward. Good slip over to Bandy. And it is a great challenge in the center by Marino. We've called her name a lot tonight, a lot of good defensive plays. And the theme has been stepping up off of the defensive line for Canfield. A good amount of comfortability in that area. And that has given them a great opportunity to really control the game from the back. Especially at the high school level, it is difficult to control the game from the back. Usually the game is won and lost in the midfield, but if you have great defenders who also have a good attacking mind, that opens up the game completely. Flag goes up on the far side. What looked like a promising attack will end there. We didn't see too many offside calls on Monday night. That'll be our first one of this game. But once again, I think, Cooper, you're impressed just with how well Alliance is playing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, throughout the week, all I've been hearing is, oh, Alliance girls soccer is not going to be great. So many players are injured, but it doesn't look that bad right now. I mean, they're playing gritty soccer. They're playing defensive soccer. They're making the plays that they should be making. I mean, even with an injured roster.
And you say those players hear this at school. If they hear it, that is a chip on their shoulder, and they are playing with that chip tonight. Not what they want to hear, but I think after the late game, they needed a start like this to give them some confidence, as they haven't necessarily been the worst team. Canfield just doing one thing a little bit better, and that one thing was one simple pass. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't a wild build-up play that gave Janone her goal. It was one touch forward, and she was loose.
Yeah, it was a play that the Aviators could have made coming down their side of the field, like we saw with that near goal. That was an amazing save for Canfield.
And speaking of the Cardinals, they're trying to just get the ball forward, but the Aviators acting like a brick wall. But the big issue for them, with that brick wall comes numbers back, and those numbers back really end a lot of great attacks before they get started. But they are fighting with everything they have. A heavy collision with the ball, and it'll go out of play. But I am really impressed with how Alliance has handled this game so far. At the same time, Canfield, they're looking really good, and it looks like they have a player tying their shoe at midfield. That was the sophomore Gray. Ball up the wing just too far, and it'll be played back to Klimas. He does the right thing, plays it out wide, almost going out of play, and Canfield able to clear their lines again. It might look like a tight window, but Canfield, they know how much time they have until they have to clear it. And going back to Monday, that was a big thing with Marlington. They didn't know how much time they had left. Alliance still putting on the pressure as we are nearing the halfway point of this first half. So you could say a quarter of the way done. Once again, for those unfamiliar with OHSAA soccer rules, we play 2 40-minute halves. The clock runs outside of goals, and if a team were to take a 6+ goal lead tonight, then the clock would run no matter what.
But it's not really looking like that. Like you said, a quarter in, and Canfield has only scored 1 goal. If they keep it up, that's only 4 goals, and we have yet to see the Aviators make any real attacks on the goal. But if they do, I wouldn't be surprised if they could find the net.
Hawkins unable to cut it back, but it still falls to the Aviators. Long shot denied, a good stop. Good ball in, and it will slip wide open, and there almost is the equalizer, but it is stopped. Yet again, the Cardinals get a massive save.
Yeah, that was close. Kyliana Brown almost kicked that one in there, but ultimately they got bailed out with a few players on that side and a great save again by that goalie.
Very similar to the other backdoor cross. Brown pretty much uncontested, but Klimas putting in a clinic. First corner of the game for the Aviators, taken to the near post, and it is going to go behind the near post and behind the goal. But the Canfield Cardinals right now putting in a defensive clinic. I feel like in another world, this is a 2-1 Alliance lead. Just the way this game has gone, a couple of bounces not going their way. That's just how it works, and in this case, it is working in favor of Canfield.
And they say football is a game of inches, but I beg to differ.
And I'm sure, albeit these players didn't play in the game, they're still riding the high of the victory over West Branch. And here comes Canfield once again. Janone plays it forward. It is Maddie Gray in on goal. The chance, and she will wait to shoot, cuts in, and she won't take it. Young gets it, no penalty.
Again, stifling defense from Atkins. She is there every time to make those defensive plays, whether it's, boxing people out or just clearing the ball. She is there.
Janone from distance, and it is picked up by Bailey Young. But I am really impressed with Bailey Young coming off of her line. As a former goalkeeper, a lot of goalkeepers very afraid of leaving their line. They want to be anchored to it, but she does the right thing, comes off, takes away the lane. And that one-on-one opportunity doesn't reap any benefits. And once again, you could say in another world, this is a 2-0 lead for Canfield. But the defense right now telling the story outside of one play. And this has been a very good technical game by both sides. The passing and the touches have been crisp. Good ball played forward once again. It is Gray. Gray plays it forward, one man to beat, but it will be cut off by an Aviator, and it'll be sent back to the wing. Gray will keep it, whips it back in, tries it again. Young racing forward. She will fall on it, and that will take away the scare of Canfield.
I mean, what's going on right now with the Aviator defense is looking absolutely incredible. Whether it's Bailey Young in goal or Cadence Atkins playing back, making all the defensive plays. This is the soccer that they won't need to play if they want to win this game.
The aggressiveness from the defense is great. You don't want to concede that second goal, but if they can play like this, maybe if they force a 1-0 at halftime, then you take that break. You have one of the best tacticians in the game, as Matt Horning is the head coach. He has been a great tutor for these girls over the years, and he still looks to be one heck of a head coach this year, albeit without a lot of his key pieces from last campaign. Good ball forward, played to Brown. Heavy touch, back to Canfield it goes, and it'll be cleared back to the captain, Heslop. Squared central, Bandy. Heavy touch, loses it again. Hawkins fighting for it, wins it from behind, and here come the Aviators. Hawkins gets tripped up, and she will lose it again. Royal just trying to dribble through the defense, and you can just tell Canfield, they watch the film on Royal. They know how she plays, and they have really been able to eliminate her threat.
Yeah, and that's great for them on defense because, like we mentioned earlier, Royal Hawkins had 12 goals last year, an absolute factor for the Aviators. But the Cardinals are making her look like a bit of a non-factor right now, as we've been seeing a lot of the plays being made on defense rather than offense.
And that has given us a lot of other players stepping up. And I feel like right now the biggest two impact players are Bailey Young and, on top of her, Cadence Atkins, 2 defenders.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the disparity right now from offense we've seen versus defense we've seen is is definitely not what you would expect from a high school soccer game. I feel like, especially a lot of high school sports in general, are offense-based. You don't see a lot of defensive-minded teams.
Here come the Aviators once again. Hawkins cutting to her right, tries to shoot, gets tripped up. It's an excellent tackle by the Cardinals, but possession stays with the Aviators. Good ball down the wing intended for Kalani Brown, but once again too long, and it'll be a Canfield goal kick. Heslop with a good idea to try and bring it forward, and now they're going to say it's a corner. Okay, I might be missing something, but I did not see that deflection.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're seeing either.
It looked to me just like a ball gone too long. Either way, second corner of the game for the Aviators. They will bunch up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Ball played in, beautiful ball right through everybody, back to the edge of the box. There's the shot. It is not going to get too far. Hawkins takes it back and will dish it. Long shot going way wide to the left, and that time a no-doubt goal kick. Substitution being made, and this is one of the first of the game that we are really seeing for the Canfield Cardinals. But once again, a lot of low-scoring games. We expected this to be their offensive breakout, but very similar to the Louisville game, a low-scoring affair. Hawkins stepping up and cutting. Here come the Aviators. Good ball up the wing to Brown. Alliance looking promising, but just too much of a heavy touch, and it'll go out of play for a goal kick. Excellent box out.
And that's what we've seen so much from Cadence Atkins, where, you know, she's boxing out people who are driving on the Alliance goal, and it's really just been a defensive game so far.
I believe that was once again Marino. We have called her name so many times, but to create that barrier between her and Hawkins, that was nicely done. You look for these tactical plays, the plays that separate the good players from the great players. That's a heads-up play. You can tell that she has been around the sport for a long time. And if she hasn't, she fooled me. But once again, Alliance, a good opportunity, but too heavy of a touch from Hawkins. Long attempt. This one has a shot, and it will bounce wide for a goal kick. If it was online, that could have gone in.
Yeah, that was one of the closest shots the Aviators have had this game, and that one comes from the captain, Gabby Heslop.
She has been a long-minded player tonight. A lot of her passes looking at the bigger picture, going forward opposed to shorter passes. And that's not a bad thing to have a midfielder, or I believe more in her case, a defender with that mindset. Good ball forward, but what a stop to prevent it from going to Brown. Fair keeps it with the Cardinals, and now the counter could be on, but too far in front of Janone. But she gets it in the end anyway. And the Aviators somehow find a way to poke it forward, but that was one heck of a stop.
Yeah, that was great, and that's what we've been seeing all game from both teams, is amazing defensive plays.
Hawkins gets it forward before being taken, and I think they're going to play advantage. Now they don't. I think they did give it for a second, but they saw it was going out of play, and they whistled it early. Usually they let the play completely develop before either deciding on advantage or saying they went too long without it. But a set piece for the Aviators, and this is one of their best chances of the game so far. Heslop plays it in, beautiful ball to the back post, nobody there, and it is taken in by Klimas. We talked about it moments ago. Heslop, the far ball player for the Aviators. No wonder she took that free kick, and if somebody could have been there at that back post, Klimas would have been beaten. Hawkins plays it back, beautiful ball up the pitch. It is Yost, the freshman, plays it wide. Fair overruns it, but is able to get it back, and she will set things up from the defensive line. Gray up to Janome, but can't get it. Heslop off to her left. Zelly Barnes. Barnes, nice ball forward. A light poke. It's still with the Aviators. Loose in the final third. And here comes Alliance, a great chance. But yet again, Canfield keeping it away from the 18-yard box. A lot of bending, but no breaking from Canfield quite yet. Heslop, another long ball. That time intended for Natalie Austin. Too far once again. Brookhart, the sophomore, picks it up. And Canfield once again putting a couple of nice passes together before Hawkins intercepts. 10:39 on the clock in this first half. Half hour in. Canfield still up 1-0 courtesy of Janone. And I'll say it again, she has all 3 goals this year for the Cardinals. Good ball up the wing. Brown staying onside this time. And yet again, it is Marino boxing out and forcing a goal kick.
She does that so well. We saw it just a few minutes ago. And I feel like this is kind of what's defining this game, is just defense on defense on defense, especially from Marino, like you said.
To have a player that has that kind of ability is a real blessing at this level. That is more of a college or even a pro tendency. Hawkins from range will take it, and she is going to miss wide. This game is starting to remind me of the backyard brawl here last year, Alliance and Marlington. It was Alliance up early 1-0, then Marlington took the lead, and Alliance just kept taking long shots. Alliance, they need to work towards the 18-yard box, and that can be a way that they get back in this game. The long shots right now not paying off. And they still have plenty of time. They still have 50 minutes to make something happen. And on top of that, they do have a break in between. Barnes, a nice turn. Alliance on the attack again. Good ball forward to Rich as it'll be sent back screaming up the pitch. Loose ball at midfield, dished on back. And yet again, Canfield picking it up in the midfield. And the counter could be on, but yet again intercepted.
It's Cadence Adkins again with the defensive play. She's been on that all night.
Yost for the Aviators tries to cut back, but Fair beats her with physicality. Nice give and go between her and Gray, and the counter is on. Dish forward, Janone the intended target, but not enough to get through the defense. Fair whips it forward, but Brown blocks. Brown boxing down below. Barnes keeps it inbounds, and the Aviators, they'll play it forward, but nothing much going there. Yet again, here come the Cardinals. A couple of pinged passes back and forth, and it will go out of play as Canfield will get a throw in. 8:10 left to go in this first half. Canfield still up 1-0. A very tight affair so far. Gray pokes forward. Good attempted tackle, but not strong enough to win it back. Atkins gets past her, but once again, a very deep-lying Royal Hawkins will take it, and the counter is on, but she is tripped up from behind, and it'll be a free kick for Alliance.
And this is a great opportunity for them to get a little closer to the goal. Like you said, they've been playing the long game with these shots, and I think they just need to get a little bit closer and take a simpler shot or a little easier, and I feel like they'll score that way.
Heslop sends it just to the edge of the 18-yard box, and Canfield will easily deal with it. I feel like the key for Alliance right now is just playing on the wings. But once again, Janone takes the turn, and she is on. One-on-one chance against Young to make it 2. Saved on the first attempt. The ricochet not able to provide anything, and Young holds up once again.
That's another great play from Bailey Young. Like you mentioned, she's new to this goalie position, and she is showing out right now. Just making smart plays, making the right plays, and making it easy, a little easier on the Aviator offense.
We do not have the XG stat at the high school level, but Canfield, I would feel like their expected goals right now would be around 3. But still only at 1.
You could honestly say the same for Alliance. I mean, both goalies have been making incredible plays this game. It has been a very defensive-minded game.
Canfield, a set piece on the far side. 6:24 and counting left to go in this opening 40 minutes. Ball played at the edge of the 18-yard box. Hawkins once again will take it. And if we had a heat map for Hawkins, you would see her up and down the pitch. She has played pretty much everywhere and then some for Alliance. Heavy hit on the far side on the follow-through. And we will see some substitutions as Canfield will be rewarded with a throw-in. But 34 minutes down. Truly impressive work from Alliance. But Canfield with that 1 goal. They hold what matters right now, and that is the lead.
Yeah, that 1 goal can really make the difference. I mean, if this Alliance defense can hold up into this second half, it might just be a 1-0 game. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they could find the back of the net and tie this thing up.
And going back to Canfield this season, In both of their games, only one team has scored. A 1-0 loss and a 2-0 win. So they are used to these slugfests. Alliance, the lowest tally combined was 4 in a game, and that was the 2-2 draw against Talmadge. Brown, 5:10 left to go in the first half. Give and go. Brown might be in, but just too far out in front. And Canfield will once again clear their lines, but not for long as the whistle blows. And that could be a potential handball on Marino, the way it did pop up. Kind of an awkward play, and I feel like this could be a shot on goal for the Aviators if that is their desired attempt. It just depends on how they want to game plan this. Ball whipped in. It is a shot, and it is just over the bar.
Nearly a goal there from Zelly Barnes. I mean, that was a rocket.
Well, Cooper, I think we saw the vision a little bit before it happened.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the range to take a chance, and yet again, so close, but yet so far. Barnes takes it back in the midfield. Alliance, they are close. Barnes will try it again, and it'll go wide as it'll be an easy save for Klimas. But if you are the Aviators, you have to be feeling the anxiety right now. So close in this first half, a lot just going a little bit away from you. You kind of see that oxymoron, a lot then a little, but that is the way to describe it. A lot has gone right, a little has gone wrong, and that little is that one goal by Janone. But she has been a dangerous player today, so has Zelly Barnes. Good poke forward, just not enough to pick out anybody. Heslop plays it back, and Barnes will control it in the center of the pitch. And she is hit from behind. It'll be a free kick, and this could be a yellow card. I am going to say no based on the intention. She went for the ball. I don't think at the high school level that is going to be called a yellow card. The Alliance fans wanted it. I see why. I just don't know if that was enough for it. Maybe in the Premier League or La Liga that would be, but I don't think right now that you would see it. I think she's going to try for goal. She does, and it is going to be wide. Once again, a long-minded attempt from Heslop.
Yeah, maybe if Barnes worked it on her acting skills a little more, that could have gotten a yellow. But
this Alliance team, they play the game the right way. They don't play the flopping game. They're a strong team, and once again, they are very well coached. Heavy tackle by Barnes, and she returns the favor. And I feel like that one would be closer to a card than the other.
yeah, especially because it's looking like it'll result in an injury here.
In retrospect, they will not go and give it. And now 2:29, they're going to have to stop the clock. And this is one of the rare times that we do stop the clock during the actual run of play, as we do have an injury. But we'll keep it here during this injury timeout. Cooper, your thoughts on this first half, as both teams have looked great. This could easily be a 4-3, 3-3 game, but only one goal.
Yeah, I've said it before throughout this game, and I'll probably say it again. The defense from both teams is looking absolutely, stifling. I mean, you're seeing great plays made on both sides of the ball. Like you said, Klimas for the Cardinals has been making some incredible saves. Same with Young for the Aviators. I mean, it is the exact opposite of a slugfest. This is like a very defensive-minded game, and it's definitely not what I expected coming into this.
Coach Horning and Coach Simone will have to have powerful team talks at the break. This halftime 10-minute break is going to be big. Whichever side has a better team talk might be able to win this game. And as you can see, one side come out firing on all cylinders to begin the second half. It will be Canfield to kick off. It doesn't really matter as possession is so finite in the sport of soccer. But if they get a quick kickoff goal, I know FIFA fans are very familiar with the concept of a kickoff goal. But to see it actually happen here, that would be big. But Canfield, they will have a free kick deep in their own half. And the clock is back running. 2:25 and counting left to go in this first half. But still that one goal, that one mistake that Alliance will have to look at the break.
Yeah, and like you said, it's just going to have to be who's mentally tougher, coming out of this halftime break, and who can, just get over that hump, just get that little bit closer to scoring and actually put the ball through the net.
Quick throw in here by the Aviators as they want to press it up the pitch. Only 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Brown trying to go for it. Too heavy, almost out of play. And that time it will be off of Zelly Barnes. Kovac with the initial touch, keeping it in play. And Canfield will be rewarded with a throw-in. 1:40 left to go in the first half. And I think Canfield is going to slow things down, as if they do take a shot, they want it to be with just enough time, but not enough time for the Aviators to do anything. If they get a goal, they want it really to be the last important kick of the first half. Heslop back pass to Young. Young able to get it forward. And the Aviators, this might be their last chance in this first half. Good heavy challenge by the Cardinals. It is Marino now up the pitch. Good ball up the field, but the flag is up on the far side for offsides. That is Kathleen, the freshman. An excellent run into the 18-yard box, but just too early.
Yeah, and this is crunch time for the Aviators. Like you said, if they want to get that last second goal in before the half, now's the time to do it with 50 seconds left on the clock.
And working quick is going to be the key to that happening. The Cardinals winning it back immediately, try to get it up the pitch. Picked up by the Aviators for a slight moment, but it's still Canfield's possession. Finally won back by Alliance. They need to work quick, and they will. It is Hawkins playing it up the pitch, but nobody home, as Kleinis will come off of her line and dish it up. Barnes, a ricochet pinball header, and she will get it up the pitch one more time, but not enough behind it. Kleinis will get it, and she is going to take as much time as she can inside the box. 10 seconds left to go in this first half, and Canfield is going to slowly drill the rest of the clock. Alliance, one more chance. They have to shoot here. Hawkins too far in front, and that will do it for the opening 40 minutes at Rockhill Elementary. It is Loriona Janone with the lone goal so far, as Canfield finds themselves up 1-0 on the Alliance Aviators. We will step aside for a few moments, hear a word from our sponsors, and be back on in a few minutes for our halftime show, just to kind of talk about what has happened so far in this first half. A very intriguing game. Alliance, the heavy underdogs coming in, they have pulled their weight and then some in the tie. At the break, Canfield 1, Alliance 0, your score. You are watching OHSAA Girls Soccer on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Welcome back to the Rockhill Soccer Complex for the second half of this OHSAA girls soccer game. Alliance currently down 1-0 to the Canfield Cardinals. Each team has a task at hand. Canfield, hold down the fort, keep it like this and get the win. Alliance, cause some chaos and potentially get the biggest upset of their season. They're yet to win a game this year, and right now, based on how they have played this year, this could be the one that gives them their best chance early on.
Yeah, this is not the one that they want to let get away here in this second half. Like you mentioned, Canfield just needs to lock it down, but if the Aviators can get in scoring range or in scoring opportunity, then this ball game could be flipped up on its head.
And the biggest chance that they had was a set piece from Zelly Barnes, the Northern Kentucky commit, just over the bar, a few inches lower, and we're tied.
Absolutely. I mean, she's got a rocket for a leg, as we saw earlier.
Final 40 minutes underway. And now the big thing is, which team had a more productive halftime period? Both coaches had to give a big speech. Coach Horning and Coach Simone, both great head coaches at their respective schools. But now it's up to the players to make an impact. The 22 on the pitch plus their substitutes, it's their time to shine as the lights are starting to come on. It's starting to get darker out, but this is where the stars shine the brightest. An Alliance with an early opportunity in this second half. Heavy header as it'll be taken in by Fair. Loose ball into the box as Climas once again comes up and makes a, not save, but just a simple stop.
Yeah, and you saw a lot of pressure there from that far side with Michaela Sponseller, number 30. She was just trying to get it in scoring opportunity for these Aviators like we've been talking about.
And getting the ball inside that 18-yard box is going to be a pivotal thing. Heavy pressure applied. I believe that was Pennington. And now we will have a whistle blow. And based on where it was, I believe that will give the Aviators a free kick. And now you float the question again. Do you give Zelly the chance to try and make amends?
I don't know if you want to, let her set it up and just put one into the net, or if they want to, set up something a little more intricate, try to get into scoring range.
It'll be Heslop. That was the other option that they have. Two players with a heavy boot. And now the question is, how do they play this? It's a big decision. Still plenty of time left to go in the game. But early on in the second half, you want to make an impact. This is your chance. Just a simple short free kick. Heslop gets it on a give and go. She will take the shot, and it is saved by Climas. I absolutely love that decision, though. That was nicely worked.
Yeah, that was a great play. They just played it a little slower than they did those past few times where they've just shot straight for the goal, and it almost paid off, but Climas just making another save.
And I don't think Canfield was expecting that. Now the break is on. They will cross it, and it is in. Quickly in the second half, Canfield gets their brace. They are now up by 2. Nicely done by the Canfield Cardinals. It looked like it could have been crossed. She took it herself, and that level of intelligence was great for the Cardinals. They get it in, and now up by 2. This is their game to control.
Yeah, and this really just shows, Alliance right now, they need to put on even more pressure. Obviously, they're doing their best with the injuries that they have, but right now they're actually managing surprisingly well. And to be honest, this still isn't a lost game.
And right away, Alliance is on the attack. A chance to whip a one in. Good cross. Bobble by Climas. But not enough to get it into a dangerous spot in the box. That goal, I believe, once again coming from Janone.
She has been absolutely on fire on offense. I mean, they're living their offense through her right now. She has every goal of the season for the Cardinals.
4 goals in the last 2 games. The other 2 coming against Louisville. The other end of that big rivalry between them and the Aviators. That rivalry will be renewed in 2 days over at Kara Stadium for football. But in the meantime, we focus on a different kind of football as the Alliance Aviators will have a corner. It'll be Heslop to take. And down by 2, Alliance needs something here. A spark early on in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they've been close all throughout that first half. They have just come up just a little short. I mean, whether it's...
Ball is loose. Hawkins, a heavy touch. She will play it, and it is just over the top post.
Yeah, I mean, throughout that first half, they've just come so close. But whether it's, Climas shutting them down from the net or just one small thing, and it's kind of not gone their way, but they've been putting up a great fight so far.
And once again, so far this year, Canfield has only played in games where one team has scored. The break is on once again for the Cardinals. It is played to Janone, a little too short, and the Aviators are able to clear their lines. Nicely done by Alliance. They still do have to clear it again, and Zelly Barnes, after an excellent trap, gives a good ball up the pitch to potentially spark a counter. But Canfield does a nice job to keep possession. Fair, tremendous ability on the ball. Her foot skills have been great tonight, and a heavy clearance right towards the Canfield bench.
And the ball goes into the trash can, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunate.
I feel like that should be a half point. It's an impressive play.
Yeah, for sure, but you might have to take that half point away because now the ball is all sticky and gross.
It does happen. We do see that, and there obviously is that goal on the far side just randomly there. We did see a ball almost go in that first half. It's the random things that you see at these facilities that really give you an extra appreciation for the game. It's a fun sport to watch. You might not think it given the score, but this game hasn't needed offense to really give us excitement. It has done a lot more in just the simple department of great defense. Heavy flick forward, maybe a mistake by the Cardinals. The ball is loose, and here come the Aviators, but too heavy of a touch on the follow-through, and Klimas easily scoops it up. The break was on, and then just one too many heavy touches.
Yeah, like we've been mentioning, throughout this broadcast, it's just one small thing that needs to go. Not that has gone wrong, but just needs to go right for the Aviators.
Here come the Cardinals once again, too light of a tip, and Young will take it. And now the question is, with Bailey Young heading into even next year, if she can continue to play like this, is she your new shot stopper?
Yeah.
She has looked like one tonight.
Especially with, as we've mentioned, sophomore goalkeeper Stella Jackson injured. How will she be able to return next year as she's out for the season? Will there be a goalie battle in Alliance to see who's the goalie on that starting lineup?
We could see Janone in the corner, whips it in, and Young once again scoops it up. She has been clinical all night. She's playing the position the right way, and even playing out from the back, she has been tremendous. A credit to her outfield ability as well. Austin, good Cruyff turn as she boxes it out, and she will win a throw. Once again, good physicality and smart physicality at that.
Yeah, we've been seeing players all night just use their physicality or their intelligence or both to their advantage, like we've seen that all night with Gray from the Cardinals.
Excellent stop by Barnes, but still with the Cardinals. Janone played forward, has a chance. She is almost through, but boxed out once again. Nicely done by the Aviators. Their defense has been great, but Austin just hits it out, and Canfield not wasting much time. They will play it on in again. Marino cutting forward, but she gets hit up, as that'll get the ball back to the Aviators. The Cardinals applying a lot of good pressure, smart pressure in this game.
Yeah, we've seen it all game. This game has been very consistent through and through with the way these teams are playing.
Canfield now playing more of the possession game, knowing they do have that 2-0 advantage. Heavy ball to the forward area, and the Cardinals once again will attack. But so far in the second half, outside of that one play, Alliance has looked stronger in possession, and they have a chance to go with it again. But another heavy touch, and that has been their Achilles heel in this contest. Good ball down the wing, one of the better heavy touches tonight. The Aviators might be through. Numbers in the box, they have 3 in support. But Canfield once again applies the pressure defensively. Still not out of the woods yet. Good ball played to the top of the 18-yard box. Squared. A chance for the Aviators. It is Barnes, and it is going to be saved. Put back again, but denied. What a save.
What a play. I mean, she has been all over it. Klimas from Canfield. It's been an absolute clinic from her, making defensive play after defensive play after defensive play.
That was Yost in on goal, and that could have been her first career goal.
Yeah, I mean, Klimas just did not want to see that happen. She was not having it.
From the ground to give that level of a second attempt on it, I am truly impressed.
Yeah, this has been a game. If you watch defensive highlights, watch this game because it has been impressive from both teams. I mean, we've seen great things from both goalies. I mean, just wow.
And here come the Cardinals once again, but the pressure plays it on back, and the Cardinals have to retreat. They will reset, dishing it back, or good ball forward. The flag stays down. One-on-one chance to make it 3-0, easily put in.
And that was just a great lead pass there, getting number 7, McCormick, open for that goal, and that was just a one-on-one action against the goalie there.
I'm impressed that she was able to stay on side as well. We'll watch this one back to make sure, but just the break, it looked like she was off. And looking at that angle, she could have been.
Yeah, it was close for sure, but, I mean, what a play there. I mean, the setup was pretty incredible.
And Alliance, they will work it up the pitch quick, but it is worth noting that is the first goal scored this season not by Janone.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned before, she's been an absolute force here, just getting in front and scoring some one-on-one goals.
Good ball played forward, intended for Yost, but cleared away once again by the Cardinals. Alliance still looking for answers, and moments ago it could have been 2-1, but instead it is 3-0. Austin, good turn back, whipped into the back post. A great chance for the Aviators, and it will just fall behind everybody. The Cardinals once again with a big defensive break, and they are able to play it out from the back, and now a potential counter could be on. Beautiful ball forward, Marino. Loses it once again. Hawkins, she gets flattened. Still no whistles. Excellent physicality by both parties. Alliance maintaining possession. Austin cutting back, and she will lose it. Gray picks it up. She goes to the ground. Play on initiated. There could be a card in retrospect, and the counter is on. Here is Janone once again, and she is denied. I believe it is still advantage being played. They are going to assess it later. If not, I feel like they missed a big one. Hawkins goes to ground, and there is the call, and the Cardinals are livid. And that is a big contentious decision. I think you saw the motion I did. I was sure that was play on because the break was on, not because it wasn't a foul. It looked like a clear foul.
Yeah, I mean, these Canfield fans are very unhappy, and as an Alliance fan, I'm just a little confused.
But looking at that, usually, based on the way that it's played, that's advantage because we saw it. That was a great counterattack. But in the end, I feel like in retrospect, we said it should have gone back and have been a card. But Alliance, they do get the better end of the deal. It's a tough break. It happens all the time. It's just such a tough one to look at. It happens so quick. But I feel like the Canfield fans are going to want to watch that one back. And I think they will be, I would say, justified. Austin, she is in, almost gets hit down. And she is unable to get on the end of it. But Canfield still with a clean sheet in hand. And they want more. Beautiful ball forward. Good incisive pass. Young way out of the box. And she will play it on forward. And if that was not intercepted, I think you would have seen Yost offside. Austin played forward. A good run. Ball is loose. Austin comes back for it. Squares it central. Yost fighting for it. She goes down on the edge of the 18-yard box. And Canfield once again comes up with a big play. Janone played in, and I believe she was offside anyway. It looked like the shoulder kind of led forward, but I understand why they played it on. At this point, you just let Young play out from the back. A 3-0 Canfield on top. Janone with a brace and McCormick with one. Good heavy challenge by the Aviators. Still fighting for possession. Barnes gets it. Heavy pass forward denied. And it is yet another long ball loose just outside the edge of the 18-yard box. Young simply has to clear her lines. This is the most pressure that we have seen from Canfield all night.
Yeah, they're really turning it up in this second half. I mean, we've already seen it so far with just 2 goals already in the first 13 minutes of this half.
They are fired up, and for good reason. Heavy challenge on the far side. They say no, and here come the Aviators once again on the attack. But another heavy touch ends a promising look. That has been a key factor tonight. Richie heavily played forward. It is Canfield with it, and they will have a throw.
And this is just another opportunity for them to put on that pressure like we've been saying. I mean, they've turned up the intensity. We've seen it through, a lot of this physical play that has been going on right now. And some of that physical play has been leading to some questionable calls, or questionable to the fans at least.
And heading in, a big question was, how would this game play out? A low-scoring affair like Canfield has seen all season, or a slugfest like Alliance? Keep in mind, the lowest-scoring game Alliance has played this year was the 2-2 draw against Talmadge. The highest-scoring game Canfield has played up until now, the 2-0 victory over Louisville. Two complete different styles.
And it's sort of been a mixture of that. I mean, we've seen it just with the beginning of this second half where, Canfield has started turning it up and scoring some goals, but that first half was an absolute defensive battle for sure.
Austin does nice to keep possession against Marino. Barnes dishes forward, nobody there. But I feel like a good real-life comparison is Bournemouth, week 1 of the Premier League, losing 4-2 to Liverpool. 2-2 heading late into that game. 2 late goals gave the Reds the win. The next week, down to earth, but they got the win. 2 complete different ends of it. But still, they played their brand, and they were able to do good. In the high school game, a lot more goals are scored than in professional outlooks. But still, it's comparable in that regard of, okay, how is the game going to actually flow? Good chance for the Aviators, but once again, it is too far in front. Top Horser will hit it up. As once again, Canfield will retain possession on a throw.
And it looks like what's been just going a little bit too far for these Aviators could easily have been setting them up for some goals. It's just the little things that it seems aren't quite going right for them.
I mean, they had, I think, 3 balls go across the face of goal tonight alone. In this half, I think at least 2.
Yeah, it's just been close, but not close enough.
And Canfield, they could have a couple extra, but Bailey Young has been great. And I feel like it's tough to say, okay, 3 goals in, great, but that does not show how the game has truly gone.
Yeah.
And we see it all the time in lacrosse and hockey. Higher scoring games, the goalkeeper, okay, it might be an 8-goal performance, but you look at the saves, that really puts it into perspective. And I think once the numbers do come out for tonight, we'll see that with Bailey Young.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she's been making some great plays, especially like we've said so many times, being new to Alliance, being new to the goalie position, just being put in this position due to an injury, which is something that has happened for a lot of these Aviators.
Loose ball in the center of the park. It is Heslop thinking of it from distance, takes the shot, and it is saved. Nice clinical stop by Klimas.
She's there again. I mean, she's been there all night just making plays.
Make sure you stick with us after our final commercial break when this game goes final, as we will announce our player of the game. A lot of good candidates on this Canfield Cardinals roster so far, but I do think somebody is sticking out in our mind, at least as of right now.
That's definitely for sure.
But we will leave that for later, as what kind of broadcast would we be if we didn't leave you hanging just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we can't just let you know quite yet.
And it can change in the next 24 minutes. We talked about this game earlier, but last year, the Alliance Canton Central game here, that was the first game I called for Channel 1022. Alliance was winning with 10 minutes left. By the end, Canton Central had come back to win it.
Yeah, and that's just, I feel like that's just how soccer goes. I mean, it changes like the weather. You know, you can catch a quick, momentum break and everything's flipped on its head.
Yep, just like tonight with Man United finding a way to lose to League 2 Grimsby in a penalty shootout, because $200 million on the attack was not enough.
Apparently not.
I do make jokes like that all the time, as Man U has struggled heavily the last couple of seasons, 15th last year. But you're right, these games can flip on their head really quick. And that is the beauty of the sport. It is Barnes from well outside the box, and it is going to miss wide. But it is important to note that Barnes, 32 assists heading into this year. That is second most all-time in program history.
Yeah, we could definitely see a push for the record. It's just a matter of, if they can find the back of the net like we've been discussing.
And I could be wrong. I think Avery Horning has the record. Because I think Lake had it for goals last year, and I think Horning had it for assists.
That sounds correct.
But once again, I could be wrong. I do not have that officially in front of me, but I believe that was the big storyline from last season. And I believe Maddie Lake is now at Mount Union.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, unfortunately for the Aviators, a lot of talent leave the team with, Jenna Heslop, Avery Horning, like you said, Maddie Lake, like you said. And, they're off to greater things, but I can't help but feel like, especially with a lot of these issues with the depth chart, the Aviators definitely missed them.
Atkins, nice back pass to Young, and she will simply clear her lines once again. 22 minutes left to go in this contest. Canfield up 3-zip, and they want the nail in the coffin. But Alliance, if they can get a quick goal, they do have an avenue back into this game. They just need something to go their way offensively. They have been so close, but yet so far all night. But not a bad spot for the Aviators to be. Still a long season ahead. Your first 4 games are not really going to define the rest of your season. They have some different opponents coming up, and I do think this year the Backyard Brawl is going to be heavily competitive.
Definitely.
Hawkins will tip it out of play, and she will concede what at least looks to be a corner, and that will be the case.
I mean, even if the Aviators lose this game, I'm sure it could be a confidence builder because, you know, as you look at it, 3-0, that's not quite what we expected even coming into this.
And once again, the 8-1 loss at Lake and Uniontown, that is what we based this perception of the contest on. We looked at that, and we also looked at the 2-0 victory for Canfield at Louisville. That's what we looked at heading in, and that's where we got our ideas. Good ball whipped in, the header, saved by Young, still in the 6-yard box, and the Aviators will clear it away.
How about that save by Bailey Young? I mean, like we've said, she's been making those plays all day.
That's the definition of climbing the ladder. One of the best saves that you'll see today, but I still think Klimas on the second effort, that is the best save of the night.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like you could say 1A, 1B.
Yeah. We might have to make a co-player of the game. So.
You could have to. We'll see. We do it quite often. I know in summer baseball, we had 80 games. They all kind of bled together. When we had blowouts, we just kind of gave the whole team player of the game because everybody did something.
Yeah, I mean, but we haven't quite seen a blowout today, so.
And really, in the Marlington-Perry game, we didn't either. As you go back to that contest, if it wasn't for those 4 goals early, Marlington maybe was the better team. Good ball down the wing for the Aviators. Now it is a foot race to get there, and it is going to go out of play, and Canfield will take it back. Great idea up the pitch, but just not executed. It happens so often. You get so close to that desired result, but just not clinical enough on the end of it.
Yeah, it's about execution, and like we've been mentioning, the Aviators have been very close to finishing a lot of these attacks at the goal, but they've just been either a bit outside or a bit too far on these lead passes.
Ball played back, and Canfield given a gift of a ball. Here they come on the offensive. Janone will spin, has one forward, will play it, but it is going to be blocked. Nicely done by the Aviator defense. You saw the back pass on a promising attack. It kind of led the Cardinals in stride, but this defense, resilient as ever.
I mean, that's someone whose name we've been calling all game. It's Cadence Atkins. I mean, she just made another play, get in front of the ball, and stop it from getting through.
Heavy follow through, no foul given. And Canfield, they will get the better end of the bounce. Here come the Cardinals once again. Excellent stop and turn by Brookhart. The attack truly on, but yet again it is stopped, at least for a moment. The ricochet gives the Cardinals a chance, but Young is able to pick it up before any damage could be done. But almost a very costly miscue just outside the 18-yard box. Alliance trying again to get a favorable bounce. But Canfield really in control. Barnes goes to the deck. No foul given, and I agree, that was same time they collided.
Yeah, and as you may have heard, these Canfield fans were a bit unhappy with that no call a bit earlier.
And now it's a foul on the Aviators. It is going to go to Canfield. And it looks like the Cards are going to still stay in the pocket. But going back to that play, they both got to the ball at the same time. That reverb brought the one player to the ground, and that's why there was no foul. That's the thing. A player could take a really nasty tumble, but if it's ball first and it's kind of clear, it's not a foul.
No, and I feel like that's what, sometimes some people need to kind of understand, especially with, maybe fans who get a little too into the game, and I understand it, but.
And that's the exciting thing of sports. It gives you a full range of emotions. And there's just so many different sports, and it happens in so many different ways. We saw it last night with Minerva and West Branch volleyball. One play that could have been called differently, and Minerva could have gotten the big upset. But in the end, the Warriors got the better of the deal. Looking ahead to the rest of our week, tomorrow night we will be at the Marlington Soccer Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff as the Marlington Dukes take on the Streetsboro Rockets in a boys soccer clash. Then on Friday, it is Friday Night Lights, 6 p.m. pregame, 7 p.m. kickoff at Serpentini Chevrolet Stadium in North Royalton. Holy Name and Gilmore Academy football. Should be a fun one as Holy Name looks to improve to 2-0 on the year. Back to this one, the Aviators looking promising once again on the attack. 2 in the box on the far side. A good chance once again, but still Canfield shows some resolve, and they are able to clear it away.
Yeah, Canfield has just been consistent with those like gritty box outs and not letting the Alliance players get to the goal.
And sometimes all you need is a little brute force to make something big happen. Beautiful ball whipped in, but just sent right back. Good clearance by Orr, the junior. We talk about the depth tonight for Canfield. That has been really a big storyline for them, and that has given them this big advantage. Long range shot from Barnes, and it is going to go wide right.
Another try with the long range from Barnes, and that's just kind of been her game, and I feel like that's how they've been able to get the closest to the goal.
And I would say that is pretty accurate, and you go back to that first half, one shot a few inches lower. This is a completely different game. But you hate to take anything away from this gutsy performance by Canfield. Coming in from 35 minutes away after a good win against Louisville, you're looking to keep your second consecutive clean sheet. You're doing everything right. It is a great launching pad into your next couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are just showing a lot of grit, like you said. Canfield making the trip out here to Alliance, and they're just, doing what they have to do to keep that record clean.
Barnes from range once again over the bar. But she's getting closer and closer. And I feel like this is the time that you have to start trying those long shots.
Yeah, you need to just make something happen, get back into the game. It's not lost yet, but with only 15 minutes left on the clock, they are losing time.
But if Canfield scores one more, I would say this is a comfortable 3 points for them. Either way, it still might be, but as long as there's time on the clock, this game is far from over. But the Cardinals, they want to put the icing on the cake here. Beautiful ball forward, but it is intercepted by Heslop. Yet again, right place, right time. Picks up the lane and intercepts. Now she might try from range, but she is denied as the whistle blows. Foul on the Aviators, and it'll be a free kick for Canfield.
We may see some stoppage of time as it looks like an injury there.
And we will have to pause. The clock stops at 14:28 left to go in regulation. But looking at tonight, it was supposed to get really cold, but overall, I don't think it has gotten too chilly in comparison to what we expected.
No, I'm pretty toasty here.
And that is what you like to see. I know we talked about it before the game. We do these games at Rockhill for Alliance early on in the year. Marlington, they have the press box. Minerva, they have the press box. No box here at Rockhill. We have to be here when the weather is permitting. We want to get these games in for Alliance, and we do it at this time. We could be here in October, but if we are, bundle up. It is going to be very cold, and that is why you can buy yourself your very own SmeeSports jacket on our merchandise website. Go to our website, SmeeSports.com, for more information on that. You can also get a number of other pieces of apparel, such as hoodies, hats, T-shirts, long-sleeve tees, and what I have down below, and what I will be wearing to clean up my quarter zip because it is getting cold. And on top of that, we do have the polos, a lot of nice merchandise, thanks to our friends over at Hometown Threads. Once again, we will preview the next couple of games that we have on the channel. Tomorrow night, it is Marlington and Streetsboro boys soccer, 7 p.m. kickoff at the Marlington Soccer Stadium. Cooper, you'll be back with us for that game. Looking forward to having you once again, as it'll be a crowded press box with a lot of staff from Channel 1022, but should be a fun night for soccer, as we will see the Marlington Dukes boys soccer team for the first time since their great 1-0 playoff victory against Louisville last fall. Very much looking forward to that game, as Coach Cowgill has been a great supporter of ours, and that program has been a great supporter of us as well. Then on Friday, it is Holy Name and Gilmore football. 6 p.m. pregame, not 6:15. Senior night is at 6:30, and then 7 p.m. kickoff as the Green Wave take on the Gilmore Academy Lancers. Should be a fun couple of games to round out the week. Then next week, I think we have 4 games on the channel, Tuesday through Friday, as Monday is an off day due to the holiday. What those games are offhand, I don't know. Actually, correction, it's 3 games on the channel, and I do know which games it is. Tuesday, it is Marlington versus Minerva Volleyball. Thursday, it is Alliance versus Minerva Volleyball. Then on Friday, it is going to be Minerva versus Akron Springfield Football. That'll be our 4th game in our Friday Night Lights series this year. Once again, we have a total of 12 high school football broadcasts this year. Looking forward to those. Could be more given the playoffs. It just depends on how our teams do overall. And a lot of that hinges on some home games there. But we will cross that bridge after October 25th when the regular season does end in Week 10. Back to the action. 15 left to go in this one. Good ball forward by Barnes, picking up Austin. Numbers getting forward for the Aviators. One of their last chances to get back in it. Austin cuts back on the edge of the 18-yard box, but she is dispossessed. Nicely done. Great defense by the Cardinals. And they now try to fight forward. Marino just hits it out of play, taking a bounce off of an Aviator. That is Richie, the sophomore.
And like you saw there again, we've mentioned it so many times this game, but those box outs on the drive to the goal from the Cardinals have just been, really slowing down a lot of the Aviators' momentum.
And no real surprise, as these Canfield Cardinals, they play with a certain physicality that is a custom to the Youngstown game. You look at soccer across different regions, it's played so different. You look in Cleveland compared to Stark County, slightly different. And I think the biggest difference you see is basketball season, as there is a completely different style of play up in Cleveland compared to Stark County. Heavy ricochet on a heavy hit. And obviously no foul, as it was just a simple ball off of the player. Good ball down the wing, but it looks to be too far out in front, and it is. Great defense by the Cardinals, as it looks like it will go out for a goal kick. But I think that third goal, that one that came in from McCormick, that really did put an end to the Aviator momentum, if they had any at that point.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit of a mood killer, although I can't say that all my hope was lost, but I like to say I'm still hopeful, even now with 12 minutes left on the clock.
If they get one that gets them back in it, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But Canfield, if they get one more, that closes the door firmly. And if it stays par for the course, then we have our answer as well. But it looks like Canfield just simply playing the clearance game. And that is not a bad thing. Beautiful ball forward. Austin, the intended target, as it'll be stopped once again by Klimas. She has been great in between the sticks tonight, coming off of her line often to scoop up the ball. Her ability to play, I don't want to say as a sweeper, as if we're talking about sweeper keepers, that is more Bailey Young's forte. But she has been great off of her line, getting big, making some big saves. And if anybody else was in between the sticks for Canfield tonight, this could be a closer game, if not a complete reversal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's been making incredible plays, and there's a shot on goal from Zelly Barnes. I mean, she's just shooting that thing out there.
It looked like it was going to be a cross initially, but I don't think it curved as much as she expected. But once again, this is kind of long shot time. A light tip, and it looks like they're going to give possession to Canfield. Kind of a light toss up there, as a couple of players went to ground, a couple tripped up, and the Cardinals once again will take possession. And you see them taking more and more time in between the plays when they can. They're just trying to slow down the tempo of this game. Hawkins up the center, trying to provide a spark. Here comes Royal, one of her best solo dribbles tonight, and it will be ended swiftly. Top Horser, a big stuff. Just an excellent challenge, puts the foot in there. One of two captains for a reason. And she shows leadership once again. But here come the Cardinals working quickly. The defense trying to hold up, but they will have to hurry to get numbers back. Austin trying to come back for the Aviators, pulls up at the last moment. And now the Cardinals have it on the edge of the 18-yard box, and they will have themselves a throw-in. That was Kathleen applying the pressure for Canfield. Assuming this result holds, Canfield improving to 2-1 on the year. Alliance down to 0-3-1. And I would say this is a very impressive 2-1 from Canfield. a lot of tough games. You go and lose to West Branch in game number 1. That's your rivalry right there. But to bounce back with 2 great wins against 2 very good programs says a lot about this team. Ball sent out of play, and that one is going somewhat towards us. A slight parting gift as we are entering the final 10 minutes of the 80. Tipped back, McCormick, the last goal scorer for the Cardinals. Nice ball skills as she performs a couple of rollovers. Marino takes the shot but deflected immediately. Nice block by the Aviators, but the Cardinals still in a dangerous area. Janone takes it from distance, and she will have to wait for her hat trick. Once again, she had the first 2 goals. She wants the third to complete the trifecta. Came up short last time out, and as of right now, it looks like she will once again. But still a great performance, potentially a man of the match performance as well. But we will find that out in the next 9 minutes. Beautiful ball up the line. It is Kathleen once again. Numbers in the box. She will whip it in, but it is stopped. An excellent deflection off of an Aviator, but still in a dangerous area. It is Marino from distance. It is off of the bar. Canfield almost had their dagger, but they will have to wait a few more moments at least. She tries it again, this time a line drive, as it will take a deflection off of an Aviator, but still just outside the 18-yard box. Finally, it adjars inside, and Young will pick it up.
I mean, that series right there just really shows you what kind of soccer these Aviators play. Just some gritty, tough soccer.
It's Shadone again, and it is blocked. And it is off of Canfield. And going back to gritty, just hitting it right off of her. Nice play.
Yeah, and we saw a name who, I'll say it again, we've been calling all night. Cadence Adkins got the deflection earlier to stop a run, and then she just came back and kept playing that tough, gritty defense that we've been talking about.
And you could say easily she replaced Jenna Heslop, but I feel like the other Heslop, Gabby, has really stepped up in her sister's place.
Yeah, as a captain, she's been doing a lot tonight, showing off she's got a big boot there and trying to make some long-range plays happen for the Aviators. Ultimately, not happening, but
Kovac tries to square. Hawkins gets the tip, plays it forward, and it is out of play. Possession Canfield. Whistle will blow as the Cardinals will make a change. 7:20 and counting left to go in regulation. It is officially dark out at Rockhill, and you can see just the beautiful night sky off in the distance. I would say a truly picture-perfect night for soccer.
yeah, not too hot, not too cold like you just said. The lights are on. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to play some soccer.
Heavy deflection. Now it goes up the pitch. But I believe there is some rain expected tomorrow. And yes, it is going to rain around 4 p.m. We do say tomorrow's game is at the Marlington Soccer Stadium. If it does rain too much, they do have the ability to flex it to Marlington High School. Just putting that out there. If you see us at a turf facility, not a grass one. Chance for the Aviators. It is Austin up the wing. Numbers getting forward into the 18-yard box. Beautiful cross back door. Rolls all the way to the far side. And once again, it is Canfield getting a big stop. And there is the small clearance.
I mean, that was the opportunity there for the Aviators. You know, with time running down on the clock, only 6 minutes left in the game, that was the time to strike. But ultimately, just came up short.
That was fair with that opportunity. And she was able to easily clear it. That has been her role tonight, and she has played it to a T. Now down to 6 minutes. Flag is up on the far side. And that'll bring the ball way back into the attacking third of Alliance. But I still will say there are plenty of positives tonight from the Aviators. This is not a game that will end in vain. But if you're Canfield, you take the 3 points, you get the win, you go back home. And this, as I said earlier, is a launching pad game. Ball whipped in, a chance for Hawkins, gets a light touch, and there it is. It is into the back of the net, and Alliance has their first goal of the night. Make it a 2-goal game. Alliance will celebrate, but they don't have much time left to work with.
It looked like it bounced past a player, and Zelly Barnes headed it in. Not the body part she's been using most today. She's been using that right leg. But, I mean, that was a great heads-up play by her to just, you know, keep her eyes on the ball and just put it in there.
I'm impressed you saw who headed that in. I couldn't tell from here.
I think it's the headband.
And that helps as well. You go to school with these players. That also does help you a little bit as well, I would assume.
Yeah.
But now game slightly on. Canfield, they're going to get aggressive. They want their last goal. They try for it here, but Young will take it and play it out from the back. But the Cardinals, they got really aggressive all of a sudden. But Alliance, they have some hope. And I believe, kind of surprisingly, that is the first goal scored tonight from a set piece. But here comes Hawkins, the Aviators looking for another, and that would make things really interesting. Good pace down the far wing. They need a good cross into the 18-yard box. Played on the ground, going down to the corner of the box. Hawkins goes down, and the ball will roll to the far side. Still with the Aviators, takes a heavy deflection, and I believe that will stay with the Aviators. But I believe the clock will stop with 4:40 left to go. Hawkins went down in the box. And it looks like she will have to get some kind of attention. Once again, the injury bug has been living at Rockhill. It's kind of happened all season. And once again, it looks like it is going to hurt the Aviators as Hawkins gets some stretching. We will step aside. 4:40 on the clock. Canfield up 3-1 on Alliance. To the relief of all of the Aviator fans, Hawkins able to get up, as that would have been a big loss for them. But a heavy sprint. We'll see if she comes off. But I think she wants to stay on, but I do think she gets vetoed. So they will have to play this without her for at least a few moments. If they score another, they might bring her back in. We will see. But a loose ball out of play. Canfield takes it back. And if you're the Cardinals, playing the possession game is how you seal this one. You don't get too creative. You don't get too fancy here. You just need possession. But it's a chance for the Aviators once again. Heavy touch going outside the box, and it is cleared away for an Alliance throw-in.
And that was Zelly Barnes again. She is getting very aggressive with some of these pushes towards the goal. We saw it with her goal that she just scored. I mean, she was in there. She wanted to score.
And it is Royal Hawkins subbing back in immediately. I think that was expected. And she will take a quick touch. Still has it on the edge of the box. Pennington also there, lined up. The shot on the ground. It is easily dealt with by the defense, as it doesn't even go all the way to Klimas. Good touch down the wing by Ritchie. And now a chance to change fields, but out of play, as Alliance will have another throw-in. If they want to potentially get a point from this, it's now or never. They got to get something here to give them a shot to get one more on the board. Light tip to the edge of the 18-yard box. Once again, a good clearance by Canfield. As we talked about it earlier, if they can get their fourth, this game done and dusted. Good ball once again up the pitch, but blocked. But still, it stays with the Cardinals until Ritchie will clear it away to the far side. And Canfield with one big touch. They are through on goal. A chance for the dagger, and not quite. Just going wide. Young was beaten, but the ball just too far off to the side. But an excellent touch forward. That was Lexi Taporser. 1 assist this season. I believe the only assist, or rather one of 2 assists entering play tonight for the Cardinals. But that was a beautiful touch forward. Had a chance, just couldn't get it done. Hawkins goes down in the center of the pitch. She is slow to get up once again, but here come the Aviators, full head of steam. And once again, it is Klimas stopping it. And now 2.5 to go. Canfield 1 foot through the door of victory. Barnes traps. Good pace and precision forward, gives it over to Hawkins. Hawkins turned around, dishes back. Good ball played forward, but nobody home, as Klimas once again will pick it up. And as the clock continues to roll, we are officially at the 2-minute warning. 78 minutes played, 2 more to go. And this appears to be a Canfield win. But Alliance, they want to spoil the party at the end.
Yeah, and if this game falls to Canfield, it's not that bad of a loss for the Aviators. Considering what we've been talking about this whole time with the injuries, I mean, I don't think 3-1 And especially what we've seen with the defense being very strong, I don't think it was that bad of a game.
Not at all. Alliance has a lot of positives to take out of here, but as you would expect, more positives belong to Canfield. And this is a win that they have been wanting, and they're going to get it. Above 500, entering their next game. That gives them a leg up. 1:10 left to go. Austin trying to slip it through. The Aviators still not giving up, but they need a miracle at this point. Heavy play forward, but there is the whistle, and we are finally in the final minutes. They need to shoot from this set piece. That is a non-negotiable. The clock continuing to run 50 seconds. It appears that our score bug is exactly in line with the in-house score bug. Long shot taken by Heslop, and it is going to go wide, and that should do it.
Very close shot there. I mean, we've seen it time and time again with Heslop and Barnes, yeah, my mind was blanking on it. But, I mean, they both have big legs. They've been using them this whole game. And as we've talked about, just a few inches lower or a little bit to the left or right, and this could be a different ball game.
As you said, soccer can be a game of inches, and that has been really true tonight. Canfield, they will walk out of here with all 3 points. Final kick of the game will roll wide, and the Canfield Cardinals will improve to 2-1 on the year, getting the victory tonight in Alliance. 3-1 your final. Once again, your goal scorers, Janone with 2 for the Cardinals, 1 for McCormick. As for the Alliance Aviators, late on it was Zelly Barnes with a header, getting the lone goal for A-Town. A very bruised Alliance squad put up a good fight tonight. But once again, as has been a common trend over the past couple of years, Canfield Athletics yet again find a way to prevail. 3-1 your final at Rockhill Soccer Complex. We will step aside one final time and hear a word from our sponsors. You are watching OHSAA Girls Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance.
With 8 years of real estate experience and deep roots in Alliance, Heather Prince is more than just your local realtor. She's a proud graduate of Alliance High School and the University of Mount Union. She is also a lifelong supporter of her community. As a dedicated Homes for Heroes affiliate, Heather is honored to give back to those who serve. Teachers, healthcare professionals, firefighters, and EMTs, along with law enforcement who buy or sell a home with Heather, will receive a special reward check after closing. A heartfelt thank you for their service. Local, loyal, here for our heroes. Thinking of making a move? Contact Heather today. Heather Prince with Howard Hanna Real Estate Services, your hometown real estate experts.
Welcome back to the Rockhill Sports Complex in Alliance. 3-1 your final. The Canfield Cardinals getting the job done over the Alliance Aviators. Your player of the game tonight, it is going to go to Loriona Janone. 2 goals. She had the opening 2. Now 4 on the year. Cooper, let's talk about her real quick, as she had a tremendous performance tonight as the Canfield Cardinals improved to 2-1 on the year.
Yeah, I mean, she was just killing it. She was taking great shots, efficient shots. She made all the I think she made all the shots she took, and she just looked really strong out there. She's looked strong this whole season, like you've mentioned, scoring goals in each of the previous games.
4 goals in 3 games, 4 out of 5 on the year. You do have to talk about the other goal scorer as well, as that was really the dagger. Carlin McCormick got the 3rd one in. The cushion was there. They were able to cruise. But a big reason why this win belongs to Canfield, Elliott Klimas, the freshman. She was tremendous tonight. You talk about that second effort save. That is the play of the game. Without that, this could have easily been a tie or even an Alliance victory.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right there. Like, she's a freshman, and she's making some of the best plays that you'll see. Like you said, the second effort save, that is one of the soccer plays. That's one of the best I've seen in a while. I mean, that save was really impressive. She reached so high, even while on the ground. It was a great play to watch.
If you want to see saves like that again, I think your game to watch is tomorrow night. I think you might know where I'm going with this. Brock Swisher, one of the best shot stoppers in the area. You look at the boys soccer teams, you have Pasco and you have Swisher, and you wonder, how does Alliance have so much talent at the goalkeeping position? But we see the Marlington boys soccer team for the first time this year tomorrow night at their soccer stadium, assuming the weather holds up. If not, I believe the game will flip to the high school football stadium as they take on the Streetsboro Rockets. 7 p.m. kickoff. Cooper and I will be on the call for that game once again. Did a great job tonight, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Should be a fun one. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFist2024 on Twitter. As well, subscribe down below to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Our goal is to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. We are getting very close to that tally. So if you are new, go down below and subscribe. There is no added cost, and it is greatly appreciated as it helps out all we do here at SmeeSports. As well, follow us on all of our social media pages. SmeeSports on Instagram, SmeeFist2024 on Twitter. Going forward from there, we also have SmeeSports LLC, the Facebook page. We're trying to build our following on all of those platforms. As well, we are on TikTok now. Not that I really upload on TikTok all too often, but it is still a platform that we have. Make sure you follow us all the way around to never miss an upload of ours, as we post a lot of cool things across the board. Finally, if you want to become a broadcast sponsor, the information is on your screen. Join our great sponsorship team, headed up tonight by Heather Prince of Howard Hanna, as she was our lone broadcast sponsor for this game. And then, as always, Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. That is as well one of our quote-unquote sponsors, as we are partnered with them. We have 2 of their students tonight from the Video Production Career Tech program. They did a great job running the cameras. And then Cooper, next year, we'll be able to call you one of them potentially, but we still have a year to see if that is the route that you do choose. Based on how you did tonight, I feel like that would be a very good future step for you to take, as you did a great job on your debut. I know we've had a lot of great commentators over the years. I know going back to Channel 1022, we had a legendary performance a couple of times from Bryson McCord, the now MSJ quarterback. We do have to give him a slight shout-out, but Cooper, glad to have you as an intern. He is one of our SmeeSports interns this semester and this year. So looking forward to seeing what you can do. But that will do it from Rockhill Elementary. The Canfield Cardinals victorious over the Alliance Aviators. 3-1 your final score. He's Cooper Fontaine. I am Nathan Smee saying so long from A-Town, and we will see you tomorrow on the orange side of the city as the Marlington Dukes take on the Streetsboro Rockets. This has been OHSAA Girls Soccer on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time.